Thank you, First Minister. I know you said you would say more on pensions at a later date, but I wonder, it's a big issue for a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals. So at this stage, can you tell us who will take on the liability for paying those pensions and how that would work?
The Scottish Government, we said that in 2014. I have said that in recent months in the context of another choice on independence. The Scottish Government will be responsible for paying the pensions of those with state pensions in an independent Scotland, either those who have that when we become independent, and for those who become entitled to a pension later on. As with all sorts of things, there will be a negotiation about accumulated assets and debt that will take account of, the sort of funding of pensions over the past, but the responsibility for pensions will be the Scottish Government's. Incidentally, and GERS, which I know everybody's very fond of the GERS publication, bears this out. Even if you exclude oil revenues from Scotland's balance sheet, the revenue that we currently raise in Scotland is already sufficient to cover all day-to-day devolved expenditure, all social security expenditure, including the state pensions. So we will set out more detail on pensions, which will cover the state pension, but also the arrangements for private pensions later in this series. The last point I would make on this, though, is we hear and heard in 2014 a lot of scare stories about a lot of things, and pensions was one of those. It is not because Scotland has been independent that pension funds in the last 2 weeks have been brought to the brink of collapse. That has been entirely down to a UK government taking calamitous decisions, and actually getting away from UK governments we don't vote for taking calamitous decisions is actually one of the arguments for Scotland being independent.